Joining us now, all the way from Atlanta, in the United States of America, is a very good friend of mine. Is also an athletics expert to the core. I'm talking about the country manager of Making of Champions, Nigeria's fastest athletics, sports management, media, and events company. He joins us all the way from ATL, that's Atlanta, Deji Ogeyingbo. Thank you so much for joining us, Deji. Good to see you. Now, let's start with Favour Ashe. Big surprise. Just 4 weeks earlier, this was not the Favour Ashe that we knew. He was in major trouble, and in the space of 4 weeks, things seem to have turned around. What happened?
Thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure once again. Well, Favour is, what I use the word an enigma, and people that know him off the track know his sort of personality. But I mean, since we just focus on what's happening on the track, nobody has ever doubted his talent, right from when he was discovered in 2018 to going to the United States on an athlete scholarship in 2021, starting pretty well with the indoor season, coming close to breaking the Nigerian indoor record. Even at the start of this season, he ran the fastest indoor race over 60 meters at 6.53 seconds. So his talent has never been in doubt. Last year, he set a new personal best of 9.96 seconds, but sadly at the World Champs in Budapest, he fall started, and we couldn't see at full glare what he could do. I mean, he had obviously gotten to the semi-finals of the 100 meters at the World Championships in Oregon in 2022. He also made the final of the Commonwealth Games in 2022. So I'm not surprised that he could easily breeze through 9.99. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The Olympic qualifying standard is 10 seconds. So you expect nothing less than perhaps 40 to 50 athletes to get across that mark this year. And that's how competitive.
And Favour's personal best itself is 9.96 seconds. So this is really easy for him, as it were.
Yes, it is. But I'm even looking at it at a global scale, right? It's the world league now. I was writing about it a couple of hours ago. You expect it to fall in another, say, 7 days when a couple of meets happen around the world this weekend. But I mean, I'm looking at it from more of the perspective of how consistent Favour needs to be and how his potential could be at full glare. Just so you know, at the World Juniors in 2021, he was entered in the 100 meters alongside Gosden Bruman, then the famous Leslie Tebogo, which Tebogo eventually went on to win. Actually had an injury that's in Nairobi in 2021, and he couldn't compete, but we knew his talent. He's at the level of Tebogo, right? Same thing with Gosden Bruman, same thing with Udodi. They're all in the same age cadets. Udodi has been having a bit of injury, like we just talked about now. Ashe having a bit of off-track issues too. So it's that consistency that is key. If he can put all of those off-track issues to bed and focus on the track, this is a potential 9.8 runner. So hopefully he's able to consistently go on to compete the SEC championships, the NCAA this year. Last year he couldn't make the NCAA because he copped an injury prior to competing there. But the year before, he had finished second behind Joseph Fombule in 2022. So his potential is just, he hasn't really touched up to half of it, right? And I feel this is just a time to whet our appetite, and he could do certainly more this year.
Okay, I mean, Deji, this is an athlete that you know very well, discovered right here in Nigeria, trained by one of Nigeria's fastest men ever. I'm talking about Deji Aliwa, who's also an exceptional sprint coach. But you said his talent is not in doubt. We agree regarding that. But has he solved those off-track issues that you mentioned? He had a run-in with the law last month. Has that been resolved?
Well, according to what I heard last, the investigation is still going on, right? The rules along the NCAA is very complex, and this is kind of like a one-off. But one thing you should know is top college athletes here in the States have got some preference, especially when it goes to rankings with the law, right? And with the issue of Ashe, his school needs him. He competes for Auburn. He started with University of Tennessee. He's arguably their best sprinter, and they need to win points on the table, right? But so far, so good. Investigation is still going on. Hopefully, it's one that's sorted out. And I was speaking to a track coach in Florida a couple of days ago, and he's young, right? He will make these mistakes. He needs to learn lessons. But obviously, it's the support system that is crucial for him at this point in time, up until the federation level, right? People that keep in touch with him and just to ensure that he's got a level head. Not everybody will be exceptionally brilliant, but I think that support system in a very competitive sport like track and getting to the professional level is very key. And Favour Ashe needs to understand that.
Okay, let's leave Favour Ashe behind and let's wish him the very best and hope that those off-track troubles will be resolved as soon as possible. But I think the principle of the law is that you are innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Like you said, the investigations are going on. But let's move to another fascinating athlete. I'm talking about Favour Ofili, another Favour, as it were. It seems to be the season of favours. Interesting athlete. I mean, she runs the 400 meters, has the record for the Nigerian 300 meters, has also won a blistering 10.85 meters in the 100 meters. She seems to be able to do everything. So what exactly is her specialty, Deji? Because I get confused at times. Is she a quarter miler or is she a sprinter?
Well, I mean, they're all sprinters. It depends on the event. But one thing, obviously, like sprinters have got their specialty, despite them being able to do 100, 200, 400. But it's very rare to find the ones that are actually good at all three. And that's why you mostly see 100, 200 meter runners or
Deji,
200 or 400.
She's good at all four. She's good at 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters, where she has the African indoor record, I believe, and 400 meters.
Well, I mean, being good is relative, right? Jack of all trades. That's something that you need to also understand. So being good at all three, you would perhaps put, from the men's side, only 3 athletes perhaps have done a sub-10, a sub-20, and a sub-44. That's the great win for Nikirk. What's his name now? Michael Norman. And just recently, let's let the Bogwa. Well, he didn't enter that exclusively because he just ran in 44 seconds, right? But for Ashe, for Ofili, I've spoken to our coach Sheva when she was in when she was still in school at LSU, Louisiana State University, and he thinks Favour actually specialty event is the 200 meters, and I also agree with him because she's already done the sub-22. Right now, seeing that she's done the the 10 points, sub-11 here, let's not forget that the win rating is 2 plus 2.6, so it doesn't really count. Can she medal at the world level in the 100 meters? Certainly not now. Can she medal in the 400 meter at the world level? She would need to run a sub-50 seconds to be in that category. Can she medal at the 200 meters? Absolutely yes. I mean, just about 2 years ago, she went head-to-head with Abby Steiner, running slow 22 seconds. And I mean, if you look at the winning times or the times to get to the final of the World Championships, the major events, you would need to run a 22 low or perhaps a 21 seconds. And Favour Ofili is capable of doing that too. So I think it's just more of an appetizer. She's testing the waters to test her speed. If you're good in the 200 meters, you run a lower 100 meters to ensure your speed is still there. If you're a better 200 meter runner, you will run the 100 meters to keep you with your endurance and also work on your speed. So it depends. If you want to do the 400 meters, you might just also do the 200 meters and 100 to work on your speed. And the reverse is the case. So I honestly don't see Favour Ofili doing the 100 meters this season. Similar to how we saw Akane Simbine running the 200 meters against Let's Bogo last week at the South Africa ESA Grand Prix. It's not something that I would expect him to do for the rest of the season, perhaps for just a one-off, right? So I think for Ofili, she would double down, go back to her specialist event, the 200 meters, and solidify her status there as one of the best in the world this year.
Okay, we'll be keeping an eye on both these athletes, Favour Ashe and Favour Ofili, two favors. But thank you to our own favorite Deji Ogeyingbo, who joined us also from Atlanta to shed more light and add more color to exactly what has happened to Nigerian athletics this weekend. Thank you so much, Deji. I'll be catching up with you pretty soon.
It's a pleasure today. Have a great day.
Okay, well, guys, let's move on very quickly from two sprint sensations to